Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy you're joining me again today for another video using the Crafty Meraki Cheer release. Today I combined two of the floral stamp sets of this release, which are Hug in a Mug and Dream Big, and I'm starting out by stamping this Hug in a Mug stamp set, which is just a bunch of flowers in a mug. I could have stamped all of the images at once, but honestly, I didn't notice the butterfly in between these flowers until I had stamped it, which is ridiculous because it's also on the packaging, but and I remembered that there are butterflies in the Dream Big stamp set as well. So I wanted to add a couple of butterflies from there to bring that butterfly from this mug design in the rest of my card. So I could have stamped all of these at once and saved myself a little bit of time, but for now I just stamped these onto Canson Montval 200 GSM watercolor cardstock with Versafine Onyx black ink. I love these butterflies, but I also love the wreath they come in. So the Dream Big stamp set is a huge stamp set, and it has this enormous wreath in it, and it's perfect for scrapbooking as well, but I love it for cards too. So I am going to heat emboss these, which I love doing, and I'm just sprinkling on some clear gloss superfine embossing powder by Wow, and then I can heat set them. Now I sprinkled them on all at the same time, and then I can heat set them all at once as well, and that way I only have to wait once for my heat tool to heat up. Once everything is nice and heat set, I can start coloring these images in, and I am using my watercolors for that. I'm using the Magello Mission Gold watercolors, and I'm starting to color in this mug, but I don't like my coloring. I already don't like this blue, and I definitely don't like it when I pair it with the magenta for the trim on the mug and for the little plate it's on. I just really hated it, and I did finish coloring it because sometimes when you just finish coloring an image it all comes together. This time it really didn't. So you can see me coloring this whole thing in, but I will cut off the mug and the plate and just leave me with the flowers. And that's the easiest way to alter your stamped images. Just cut them apart. And I know that sounds scary to do sometimes, especially if you've spent a lot of time coloring them, but sometimes it's for the best. I should have kept the mug really plain, but because it had a dotted pattern on it, I thought I'd give it some fun colors, but I regretted that immediately. I'm even trying to fill the dots in with gold to see if I like that better, but I don't. So sometimes you just have to let go and start another part of your card. So for these flowers, I'm going to do some really loose watercoloring. I just painted them first with some clean water, and then I'm dropping in some colors of paint. Again, I'm using the Magello Mission Gold paint set, and this is wonderful. It has wonderful colors, it is great watercolor paint, great quality, and the pigments are amazing. Usually when you drop in paint in just a wet area, it is quite diluted and you end up with a really pale flower, which is honestly what I was going for. But these Magello Mission Gold paints are so pigmented that sometimes it's hard to get a pale look. Sometimes you just grab too much paint from the get-go and you end up with very vibrant colors, which I also love. So I just went with that as well. Sometimes you just have to go with it. Now I'm keeping all my flowers roughly the same colors. I'm using some pinks, some orange, but very limited, because I also drop in some yellow here and there, which just makes orange as soon as it holds on to the pink. So they're all roughly the same shades, only those daisies, I made sure they were bright yellow because those are my favorite flowers, and I wanted them to stand out a little bit. And to contrast with those warm shades in the flowers, I wanted the butterflies to be a little bit cooler. Now, I already decided to cut off the mug at this point, so I didn't worry about matching my blues at all. I just went for some cooler shades of purple and some blue mixed in together. Even with these butterflies, I am keeping things very loose. Again, I am covering that butterfly first with some clean water, then dropping in paints. And this is definitely too dark, so I'm washing some of that away with a somewhat drier brush and then popping in some blue as well. And I am just returning with a slightly damp brush to whisk some of that color away, and that ends me with a paler butterfly. I cut all of those out, though I think matching dies are available. They weren't available for the design team yet. Just to make sure we got all of our products in time, I think Bennu didn't wait for the dies to arrive. So there are matching dies available, and those will make it really easy to cut out those tiny detailed images. Now this is probably my favorite stencil. This is by WaffleFlower, and it's Painted Stripes or Inky Stripes or something like that. I'm terrible with product names. I will make sure to link and list it down in the description below. Where possible, I will use affiliate links, especially for the Crafty Meraki products of today. So make sure you purchase through those links at no extra cost to you. You will give me a small commission, and it just helps me out. I am using some Pinkfresh Studio inks to blend those on, just some gray inks. I will list those in the description as well. And then I thought at the edges it was a little bit too harsh, the contrast between the white and the gray. So I just took the lightest gray ink again and went around the edges to make it a little less contrasting. I'm gluing that simple background panel onto my white note card, a white top folding note card with the Barely Art Precision Craft glue, and that is perfect glue to glue paper to paper. If you're using anything of a slick surface, or if you want to adhere embellishments, I highly recommend to not use this glue, but use Nuvo Deluxe adhesive instead. It grabs onto slick surfaces a lot better, and it dries a lot quicker as well. To pull everything together on this card, I wanted a frame, and I die cut this fancy oval frame die by Pinkfresh Studio 3 times out of thick white cardstock, stacked those all together, and I'm going to finish this with a layer of matte gold cardstock. I recently discovered this matte gold and silver cardstock in Europe, and I am so very pleased with it. This is one of the most perfect gold shades I have ever come across. And it's matte or a satin finish, so it's still metallic. It's not just regular paper, but it doesn't just reflect a mirror image back at you, which I always find annoying. And I think this is a lot more elegant and pretty. Now I adhered all of these images on top of some some double-sided foam tape, not purple tape, just some foam tape. I covered the backs of all of these in 2 layers of foam tape, actually, just to make sure they would stand up really nice and have some awesome dimension. And then I took off the backs and adhered them to my card. Now, this process took the longest by far. I want to create a trail of gems between all the butterflies and just a little bit at the bottom of the flower or the floral bunch there. Just to finish it off, but there were so many gems, and I'm always really fussy with the placement of embellishments like this. Now, the embellishments I'm using are the Periwinkle Meraki Sparkle gems, which I love. They shift between blue, pink, and purple. They are awesome. Now, Crafty Meraki has also released some pearls in this release, which are also gorgeous. I just didn't think they fit the colors of my card today. But I really love the green ones especially. There are a lot of pastels in this release because it's spring and Easter. I love it. So definitely check those out. I adhered these with the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and that's it. I also made a matching envelope and forgot to film it, but it's just a plain craft envelope. I thought it really fit the gold perfectly on this card. Now, Crafty Meraki is also having a giveaway to celebrate this new release. They're actually having 3 giveaways. 2 over on Instagram for a gift card of $25 each. And then one huge one on YouTube. I think it's still going. You can head on over to the link, which is also in the description, to enter in those giveaways. The huge giveaway on YouTube is for $100 of Crafty Meraki products. So I hope you check those out for your chance to win some gift cards. And I also hope you check out the inspiration from the rest of the design team because they made some gorgeous projects, I should say. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.